What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching another video. Today we're going to be installing an intake on my Volkswagen Rabbit. It is right here in this box, and it's a NEUSPEED one. It's a pretty simple install. It's going to sound good, it's going to look good, and I can't wait to get this on. Okay, so we're going to be removing the stock intake. I'm going to be taking all of this piping and ducting off. We're going to be removing it from here, and then we'll be able to install the NEUSPEED one. So I'll show you how to take this off. Okay, so first we're going to be removing this screw, and there's another one on the opposite side. They are T20s, so I'm going to take each one off just to make it a little easier to work. Next is going to be hard to see, but there's going to be two T25s that are holding the ducting in right on the front of the grill. So we're going to be removing those. Just be careful not to drop them. You don't want this to be loose after you're done. This one's going to be a little more complicated to get. I might have to get a more stubby tool. Yeah, so for this one, you're going to want a more stubby tool because it's in a tighter area of the bay. So we're going to be removing that one. Okay, and next we're going to move this out of the way. Just be careful. Put that to the side. Now we have a little bit more room to work and remove these two clamps. Next thing I'm going to pull out of place right now is the intake air temperature sensor. Now, this is only going to be present in 2006, 2007, and I might be wrong, but I think very, very early 2008 model 5 cylinders. Anything after that, you're not going to have the sensor here. But again, it's going to be 2006, 2007, and again, I could be wrong on this one, but very, very early 2008s also had this, but maybe no, I could be wrong on that. But this literally just pulls out. Just be very careful, you don't want to break it. It'll just pull out like this, and now that'll be laid over to the side. Now I can work on taking off these two clamps and moving the engine cover out of the way and getting this mass airflow sensor out. Okay, now what I'm going to do just quick, I'm just going to pop the engine cover out of place. You want to be careful. There's a grommet on every corner, but just want to shimmy it out of place. I'll go this way, like that, and then there we go. And one more. There we go. So now this is completely out of place. Now we're going to work on the clamps. Okay, I'm going to be using the specialty tool, and just going to go onto the clamp, squeeze it, and it'll open it up and it'll move it out of the way. I'm just going to bring it down like so, and I'll just leave it there. Actually, I don't want it to crush the original intake hose. So we'll just leave it on that part right there. Now we're going to take off the second one that's connected to the throttle body. Okay, now we're going to remove the hose part off of the throttle body itself. Same tool. Again, there are different kinds of variations of this specific tool, but you know, I got this one for cheap at like AutoZone years ago, and it works pretty well. So let me move this just part out of the way. So actually, I'm going to just take off the engine cover, right, like so. I could probably move this out of the way. Yep. Just watch out for the mass airflow. And then now I have more room to tackle this. There we go. So I'll keep that in place, and then you want to disconnect your secondary lines here. Just want to be careful. Again, you don't want to break this because we are going to be reusing these later. I'm going to take the mat, disconnect that to get this out of the way. So that now we could work with a little more room. So that's one. And then just, again, you just got to squeeze it. You just don't want to, again, break it because then it's not going to be snug in there. So there you go. So now that's off. Now we can start piecing together the new intake. So everything comes packaged really nicely. Comes with all the hardware that you're going to need. Comes with clamps. Even comes with instructions in case you need that. Bracket for the filter for the intake hose. Little trim piece for this right here, and your filter. So It's pretty self-explanatory. Again, it is nice that they include instructions. I don't think we're gonna need them because this is pretty straightforward. And obviously this will go to, like, for example, your throttle body. Here's for the secondary lines here, so pretty simple. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is connect this over onto our throttle body. Like so, and you wanna orient the clamp in a way that it's gonna be easy to tighten it when the time comes, because if not, it's gonna be a pain if you ever wanna take it off. So just wanna get this all the way on, put the clamp in an area that is good. I could probably connect these secondary lines later, not a big deal. Okay, so you're gonna want to orient it this way. Again, I'm gonna just tighten up the clamp, not 100% in case I have to move things around, but just to hold this all in place. I don't want it to move around now. There's gonna be an 8mm socket for the clamp, or you could use a flathead screwdriver, whatever you prefer. I think it's just easier sometimes with these sockets, in my opinion. And I'm just gonna lay these two. Maybe I need to drop this a little more. You want to get it so that the hoses line up how you want. So I might just move this a little down, and then you want this to sit, okay, a little more down. You want to get it to where the, yeah, it should be right there, should be okay. And I got the bottom one already in its place. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now and then continue on this part. Okay guys, so I already set this up, but you want to install the map into the bracket, the heat shield bracket, and it's gonna go this way. They supply you with a screw and a nut, and it's gonna sit in the engine bay like so that you can connect it, and I will show you how to install this onto the other silicone pipe. So we got the clamp in place. Now we're gonna put the heat shield bracket. So push this all the way in as far as it could go, and then you're gonna have to play with this a little bit because this is supposed to go into the grommet on the battery tray. So you want to make sure this is lined up. There we go, correctly. Now we can play with that a little bit like so. Okay, so next thing, we have to play with the wire on the math. We have to take off this old protector for the wiring, because if you don't, it's not going to fit when you go to connect it, and they provide you the new one. We have the new one here, and this is very simple. This just slides into place. You're going to push it all the way down. You're going to put the wires into here. It might be a little tight, but it'll go, and then lock it into place. So now you have the new cover, and now this will allow you to actually connect this onto the mass airflow sensor, because now it's not as bulky, and you'll be able to push that on with that ignition. I'll show you that. Now you have the wire here. As you can see now, this will push into place nice and snug against this. So I'll just connect it just to be good. And then the intake air temperature sensor, if you do have one, I'm going to show you that. It's going to go into this hole right here. I snuck all the wiring around. I'm going to reach in and just grab it. And then this literally, if you have one, only if you have one, it's gonna go right here. There's a little hole for it. You just push it, and now it's in place like so, and it'll lock in. And then that's where your air temperature sensor is gonna go, and I'll orient it nicely so it looks better, just like so. Now, last but not least, we're gonna install the filter onto the car. Orient it like so. It's gonna be a snug fit, which, you know, is a good thing. So this won't slip off. We want to push this like that. Perfect. Now we're just going to tighten this. And this will be pretty much the last step, guys. Then I'm just going to go over everything and then make sure everything is nice and tight. Don't want this to come off. Perfect. Nice and tight. And that's pretty much it. So the intake install is done. Everything is nice and tight. Everything is all good to go, and everything is connected. So now we're going to start the car, see what it sounds like, and then go for a drive. Alright guys, what I did, I put the engine cover back on. I just think it looks a little cleaner that way. So everything is nice and connected. We're gonna go out for a drive. This isn't necessary now. You don't need this engine cover anymore because you have the intake installed. But to actually make it fit, if you do want to put the engine cover back on, is you have to just remove this little elbow, and it has another one of those clamps. So this originally went here, but you remove it, and now you have all the space to put it back on if you please.